This is gonna be my reaction to the documentary. Actually, let me go ahead and let my homies, my friends on homies and my friends know about this, because this is probably my first ever reaction of sorts. Let's see. If I can find a way I can share it. Oh, here we go. Hold on a minute. Where is my link? My Twitch link. Ah, here it is. Uh, right now, day 2 of streaming, reacting to Simulation FL Documentary. There you go. Alright, we are live. Alright, here we go. Well, just actually, we need to do a copy and paste real quick for to another community to get into. Where? Oh, darn it. Yeah, well, actually, that at least gives me more time to actually get ready for the stream real quick before we get into it. Because you all are going to get my point of view. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Where is the... Alright, hold on a minute. Here we go. A couple more places, and I think we're ready to go. I think we're set. I feel like this is long overdue, so... I feel like this is long overdue. So... Here we go. Before I get to this reaction... Before we get into it, I want to let you know this video comes from the bottom of my heart. I love the SFL so much. They deserve their love. They deserve their recognition. And they, actually, you know what I'm going to do? And then after this, we're going to go ahead and play me side after this. So we're going to go ahead and do real quick. But let's go ahead and do it. There we go. We are ready to go. And it's long overdue. Let's get into it. Before we get into anything, if you like this kind of content, let me know. And because this is definitely gonna be a reaction stream. So before we get into that, before we do it, hold on just a minute. We need to do one more thing to fix it. Slower this thing down. Lower myself here. Much better. So you guys can see the screen actually. Actually, let me see how that is actually. Let's see how that is. I like to shrink it a little bit, so then let's see. Much better, actually. There we go. Ready, y'all? Okay. Oh, actually, before we get into it, we need to go ahead and bump up the volume. So let's do that real quick. Speaker, we're gonna bump this up to 50. Should we... Actually, let's bump it down to like 30. There you go. We'll see if it works.
The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Crazy how the original logo is like that. It's crazy. And I'll explain how this lead is, and
quickly calling out signals to the Sparrows.
So
Desperately looking for a big play, and they got it to Portis for a first down to the Bulldogs 38-yard line. That's the second time in this quarter on a 3rd and long. Tyree and Portis are able to deliver.
yep, and Cameron Irvine was a very big name in the SFL for quite a long time. Yeah, Carolina Skullhawks, the Cleveland Vipers.
72 yards. Touchdown, Houston.
Houston Hyenas, shout out to Eddie Gage. The Louisville Wolfpack. The Minneapolis Maulers. New York City Sailors. Oklahoma City Renegades. Shout out to my team, season 13.
It's the SFL
Tallahassee Pride.
live on Twitch TV.
Here we go.
Alright, players in the SFL. Let's start with Baltimore. We're gonna go in alphabetical order. Like, not with the players, just with the teams. I'm gonna go offense and defense, okay? So we got Mike Dazzo, he's a silver quarterback. Elliott Snyder, gold running back. DR Sim, silver wide receiver. Demetrius Aldat, bronze wide receiver, and that's their offensive four. On defense, they've got Henry Hittner, Joe Dazzo, they're the linebackers. They got Alexander Brown and Kenneth Lyons are the corners. Safeties are Eddie Gage and Dwayne Blackwell.
So I guess we'll first meet Mike Dazzo.
Yep, this is probably one of my favorite documentaries of all time, by the way.
28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Let me pause this real quick. This game, if you're wondering what the SFL originally was, I'm going to go ahead and pause it time to time, because it's kind of reaction stream anyway. The SFL is a league that was based on, originally, the All-Pro Football 2K8 games. So, if you're wondering, let me show you what it is. Hold on just a minute. Let me look you up how All-Pro Football was. All-Pro... This is one reason why I wish I had a not a laptop, All-Pro... Yep, there we go. This is the game. Let's look at the videos. There's another guy who... There's a bunch of people who... Yes. So this is the kind of game that... Yeah, so this is the game that they... Yeah, let me just mute it. This is the game... that this is the case. So you'll have a bunch of you can create a player. You can actually yeah, I'm sorry I'm using Softdrinks TV. Softdrinks TV is a very good channel too. I recommend very much. But this game, if you really love a lot of retro like players, this is definitely the game for you if you like the retro vibe of football. This is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And he also, by the way, Softdrink TV, he does a lot of videos like Madden 06, I don't know, not sure, Madden 08, All Pro Football 2K8. He does a lot of other content. But my point is that this lead was using this thing, and they're doing their own thing. So just curious, if you're curious what this lead I'm reacting to, the documentary I'm reacting to, this is the lead I am doing. What I was a part of.
461 yards, leads the league in passing yards per game, 384.6.
If you've ever wondered how real a video game can seem, you come to us. You come to us. If you've ever wanted to...
And that statement, I think, solidifies the greatness of the Simulation Football League. And if you really want proof if you really want proof, let me go ahead and do this. Actually, do it this way. Go to YouTube. Let me do it this way, and I will search it for you. How right he was. How right he was. With that statement. Let me go real quick. Like, he is so right. Cameron Irvine is so true and real. For so many reasons. I can list you 15 moments to the point he is so right. I'm trying to find where the... Oh, there it is. Oh, there is another league called the Virtual Football, but let me show you an example. Where's the play? I remember there was a huge highlight reel for it. Let me look. Popular. Here we go. Yeah, there's a bunch of moments that they did. And he's so right, because if you just look at all, like, this is probably my favorite game, and I was a part of this game. And if you really want to show you,
Welcome to Baltimore Sports Gamers Online Stadium.
Yeah, and you know what, how crazy this game was? I will show you. I'm going to bump up this quality real quick. I will show you how crazy this game was. If you want to, this is how far the game was in the end. If I can find it. Where is it? Here we go. This is probably one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorites. But at the same time, it was a heartbroken game because I was part of it. But I can probably also list to you the recent, if you really want a great game too, it's probably this one too, which I should react to this one, the Arizona versus Sin City one. I definitely need to react to that today. We need to get to that one. But I can list you 50 plus moments to where he is so true that if you want real football, come to us. Absolutely yes. Cameron Irvine is absolutely based, and he's so real about how great the lead is for quite some time. And if you don't believe me, by the way, if you don't really believe me, come talk to me as well. He is so true.
To know what it feels like, as close as you possibly can get, whatever it feels like to be invested in your own football franchise.
Yes.
You come to us.
And everyone
exactly
early for Cleveland. Play action pass, and Tyree will go deep down the field. That pass is incomplete, but a flag is thrown late on the first play of the game. That may be pass interference, pass intended for Cadilla.
And if you've ever wanted to sort of watch it all unfold in your own living room, you know, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be the franchise. And
and he is so right about this as well. What I love about the SFL so much is not only was he so real, he was so right about the fact that if you look at the past nearly 25 seasons, yes, we're into almost the 25th season in June. We have literally, I mean dead seriously, we have literally went to so much. And I mean so much so that, like, if you really want to know the icing on the cake, you want to know the icing on the cake so much of how much he's so correct, trust me. I'm a player, and I still am a player in the SFL. I have my real name in the lead. And nowadays, if you want to know my experience with the SFL, let me explain how the league works. So basically, you come join a league, you come join the team. You actually first play in the minor league system, and basically, you have to progress your player every week in order to stay in the team. And yes, you had to stay in the same league, you had to stay in the same team. Until you're drafted, and then once you're drafted, you actually move from the minor system to the professional system. Nowadays, I think it's a very different system. You get an extra amount of cash using the portal, and TLDR, you progress your player. That's how much of a fun little system this is. And if you don't, like I say, if you don't believe me, watch my highlight reels on, I'll have to find them, but there's a bunch of highlight reels I have created a long time ago. I have been in this league for almost for almost 5 years. I have seen my greatness, I have seen my losses, I have seen my victories, I have seen my defeats. So I have my fair share of moments where you get to see where it is.
And we will bring the experience to you. You don't have to pick up a controller and have your palms sweating while you're trying to press O, or tap it, or press it hard, you know, for a different you can just sit there.
Yep, and it's a CPU versus CPU based league. So basically you're getting an opportunity to progress your player, but also sending your opportunity to get greatness out of the game. Another thing is what's great about this league is that coaches get to do their playbooks. And all your playbooks, all the coaches' playbooks make an impact and tell the story of the game. So it's just like NFL, just like football in general. If you watch a football game, it tells you a very different story every week because you're getting a different. Either they're giving a different playbook or they're having a different play they're wanting to do just to make changes. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
And watch your team execute, be victorious, win a championship. That's what we have here. And it's special.
Guido Trace, onside kick and a reverse field, pops it up, the ball is short and on the ground. Oh, it's picked up by Orlando, past the 30, on the return, breaks a tackle.
Oh, wow.
Inside the 10, and down.
Well, now that's incredible. Who made that's quite the onside kick, you ask me. That's great.
When the SFL came along, I mean, what better way to...
Hey, Michael Irvine.
If your guy does good, that's almost fantasy stuff. And it's, you can't help to get excited about guys that you've created. That it's almost like you're a real owner. You drafted them, you created them, you brought them along, and they either do good by your scheme or they don't.
It's so serious with that. My wife was like, "Are you serious? It's just a game," you know. And I was like, "Honey, it's more than a game," you know. So I'm texting or either emailing my players, coordinators, and so on like that or whatever. So it's more than just a game, man. This here is real football to the fullest.
I got owners, I can't talk to them 3 days after they lose. They won't talk to me. They're too upset. They're too upset that their team that they spent this time on, they...
And if he's right about this for various reasons. And this is from my experience. So let me explain. So we have so much this community has so much passion in the competition we have. I remember one time we had to make a bunch of rules. A lot. They had to make a bunch of rules. Like, for example, you can't do and I think these were like earlier rules anyway. And some of the rules, and I'm not going to disclose them because I'm a player. But there are just some rules where if you, like, let's say, for example, if you say some very bad things about a player, or you say bad things about an owner, for example, then yeah, like, you get in trouble for that. Especially if it's very, unnecessary. Yeah, you'll get in trouble for that. Yeah, there's a bunch of rules you have to follow. But you know what? He's right about that, though, because it's not just owners. There are times where players got so upset and salty about some games. And if you ask me, was there any other games that that you made them salty or you were salty about? Trust me, I had some experiences where I was salty. So yeah. So yeah, keep talking.
They suffered a loss. It hurts. But as a commissioner, you want it to hurt.
It hurts. It's supposed to hurt. That's the whole point. If it doesn't hurt, you don't care. And not to sound harsh, but we want to hurt you. You know, I mean that's the whole part
Exactly.
of the experience. That's the whole idea. Only one team
Welcome to the world of football, ladies and gentlemen.
each year well, 2 teams each year, technically. Only 2 teams each year get to smile. You know, and everyone else should feel upset at the end of it.
Hashtag we want to hurt you. I think that's going to be our next big thing going into the season.
And Sioux Falls a bit stunned. Queen City up 27-24. Daniel Garcia slides, and that's not a touchdown. You got to be kidding.
Wow. Wait a minute. Go back. Wait. I want to go back here real quick. Hold on a minute.
And Sioux Falls a bit stunned.
Hold on a minute. Wait, why is it buffering? Go back a little bit. What? Oh, here we go. I was like, let's go back a little bit. Hold on a minute.
Our next big thing going into the season.
And Sioux Falls a bit stunned. Queen City up 27-24.
There we go.
Daniel Garcia slides.
Wow. How is that not a touchdown? Look at the knees. That is some... I don't understand. How? I don't understand how.
Touchdown?
That is not a touchdown.
We're about to break it down. Queen City had to settle for a field goal, which meant they were only up by 6. 30-24 with 5 minutes left. Now 1:35.
But yeah, that was like...
Sioux Falls
but still, I thought that was a touchdown. Actually, never mind. That was a touchdown. But yeah, this game...
With 90 seconds to go.
Oh my goodness, 1 second left.
Garcia fires down the middle. Sioux Falls corrals them, and the Sparrows.
Wow,
And I'm
quite
sure
a
it's
classic.
frustrating for a lot of people out there who play online games where they feel like they can't compete because they just don't know the game or they don't know the controllers as well as the person that they're playing. So.
And I think that's why, and I agree with this, I think that's why we got a lot of, and this has come from me, for example, I think that's why I like the SFL so much, is that you don't have to worry about a lot of the controllers, but instead you just improve your player, you treat your player as like a real-life player, and you improve your player as you go on. And you're making the story out of your player in week by week, game after game after game of the season. It's kind of really fun that way. I think it has also a lot of replayability. It's a nice little share. It's a nice little touch of storytelling in this lead, but also it definitely shares a lot of the It definitely shares a lot of, it creates a universe of sorts. It's kind of like the WWE where, you have a story to share and it continues and like beyond the years. Yeah, it makes you look back to a lot of the storytelling. If you ever watch the old stuff, for example, which you can find on their Twitch. I'll have to give them a shout out after I watch this stream. But I'll definitely give them a lovely shout out. They deserve this, me reacting their documentary. And if you ever have any questions to get to know me about this kind of stuff, you're welcome to ask. Because, like I said, this is definitely one of my favorite documentaries by any means of sorts. Because Cameron Irvine is definitely the GOAT. The GOAT of GOATs when it comes to competitive esports, eSIM leads. When it comes to it. And I think he's kind of like the pioneer as well. I think he was definitely the pioneer of using All Pro Football 2K8 and using it as a way of entertainment and competition. You don't get that seen much. And nowadays we're into the NFL 2K4. I think it was a modded or something. I don't know what it was, but still.
So the idea was, okay, well, we got to take the controller out of their hands. And we got to sort of level the playing field a little more.
Yeah, part of that is the appeal of what makes the SFL different from other
Oh
things.
man, some of these teams, man, I starting to feel old when I look at these teams.
There's an element of hands off. There's an element.
Even though I wasn't even a player watching this, man, I feel old.
And the Maulers, they go down in the playoffs. As a new owner, I can look at it and go, oh, even that dude has won so many games and just tore through the league.
Man, the graphics look interesting. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I love the graphics they did. That's pretty good.
An overtime victory. victory has stunned the #1 seed in the Gray Conference.
You know, that just gives a little bit of hope. And I think it's one of the things that keeps this league intriguing.
So because I wanted our own NFL, so to speak, I wanted to, I got to make it feel like that's what it is. And so I had no commentary experience, but I wanted to bring that experience to people, that NFL experience to people. They could watch their team play on Sunday or whenever they played,
And that's why I want to do the same thing with Legend Bowl and College Bowl once College Bowl gets their franchise fixed. Just saying.
They could watch their own team like they could watch, the Jaguars or the Packers or the Steelers or anybody. And so I just started doing it.
3rd down and 12, and hand off to Anderson.
And that's how it all begun.
Anderson is in the open field. What a gutsy call, all the way to the Cleveland 45 for a Sioux Falls first down. Johns on the tackle.
And the people in the league were just like, "You're really good, man. Like, this is good stuff." And for a while I was just like, "Yeah, okay, thanks." And it took a while and enough people to say, you're pretty good at this.
That's a 9.5-yard gain up to
Cameron Irvine, if you're watching this stream, I hope you are. I'm gonna say this out of love for you, man. You, I'm trying to hold my laugh, but you sure are quite the storyteller in games. And you are definitely one of the best of all time when it comes to commentating. Anyway, keep going.
They grab a 47. 2nd and inches, no huddle, all the time in the world for the Maulers. 30 seconds. Back to pass, Marconi looking down the field. Caught! Oh, what a spin move! Inside the 10!
Wow, what a catch and run. Down the 1. That's incredible.
I can't say enough about the guy. He was the main reason why I wanted to get involved with the SFL. I remember one day at work, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm Googling All Pro Football 2K8, and pops up, SFL highlights. So I'm like, what is this? So I play it, and I got my little earbuds in, and I hear his voice, and I'm like, yo, who is this dude? I was like, yo, I gotta find out who he is.
I'm really surprised he's not on television because he's that good. It's because of him that I think everybody enjoys the league. The way he brings a game to life.
Oh wow, Ronnie! Oh wow, Ronnie!
Is, outstanding.
3rd down
I think I know Ronnie.
At the 43.
I don't know.
Dazzo deep shot down the field. It's picked off for the 36. And Shigeki back to return. That's the 40 all the way to the 35.
Crazy how.
Dazzo looking for Bishop down the field. Shigeki reads it perfectly. And Shigeki.
It's crazy how. It's crazy to look back at a lot of these highlights, and it makes yourself think about nowadays. It comes from this to, I'll just pause it here. It comes from this to this. It makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder once from this to this. It makes you wonder, right? And I'm definitely going to react to that game. I'm definitely going to react to that game after this.
Interception return total now 8 on the season, and he has been a direct beneficiary of Stevie T. Diggs' play. The 2 star corners for Cleveland, a combined 18 interceptions.
Wow.
In 20 and a half games. That is just
crazy.
Phenomenal.
I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm just doing what I'm passionate about and what makes me happy at the end of the day.
Then we got Louisville, Skeletor Funk's the quarterback, David Overstreet running back, A.J. Blaylock, Lawrence Kirkland receivers, no tight end, so that's their 4. Then they got Rick O'Reilly, H.J. Latshaw on the line, Andre Khrushchev is the linebacker, Lucius Sanders is at corner, Aaron Tolbert and Ezekiel Freeman are a safety. That's 10, right?
I always say it's like a combination of kind of fantasy.
Rest in peace, Matt Wilson. Rest in peace, my man. You definitely deserve, rest in peace, my man. You are one of the all-time great quarterbacks in the Simulation Football League and will forever be the GOAT.
Fantasy football, NFL, and then for me, because I can't play real football, like playing football itself.
You have to evaluate each game.
I love you, SFL. I love you.
Players, who's doing what, who's making plays, who's not making plays.
Yeah, so by the way, this is like kind of like their stat kind of sheet they used to do. If you're wondering, it's pretty nice to see it.
Then you have to do your homework on the teams who you're facing come the next week. You have to study film, and see what these teams are doing to make sure that you have the upper hand advantage and getting your stuff ready, and together. So it does feel like owning a real live team, man, because, I have my players on my team reaching out to me. Hey, what's going on? How
wait, do we see? Wait, hold on a minute. Do we see a lot? Wait.
I feel like Jerry Jones, man. Yes, sir.
So not only are you a fan, but you're an owner, you're a general manager, you're a coach, you're everything to this
and that's what makes
franchise. And it's not the Philadelphia Eagles, it's not the Arizona Cardinals, it's your creation.
And that's what makes the SFL one of its most genuine, is the most genuine, like, and one of the most best, one of my most favorite things about this league is just how genuine it is. Of its storytelling, to its gameplay, and even just like you just said, every franchise has a story to share, and every player, every coach, every owner, and even the commissioner, we all have a role. We as the SFL have a role to share. We all in the SFL have a role to share when it comes to this storytelling each and every week, and we still do it this very day. It's crazy.
It's a team in your hometown that doesn't have an NFL team. It's a team in the town of your favorite NFL team, but your NFL team stinks and you want to bring a championship instead to that town. They can hire coaches, they can sign their own players, their buddy can be their quarterback. There's so much.
Exactly. Anything can happen in the SFL. Don't forget that.
Level of detail to just make everything yours that eventually, people say, look, I look more forward to this than watching the Pats.
That's how I actually feel. I feel like I own this team. I know these players.
I can never know this guy out.
Their contract fate is in my hand. My team's fate is in their hand. And at a certain point, and here's...
Yep, this is what they do. This is the coaches. This is what they do. They'll have a bunch of playbooks they edit, and each week so the coaches are remembered, they have to edit a bunch of playbooks. And this is how it works.
Their names, their numbers.
This is what makes it even fun, too.
You make all these.
And also, this is also what makes the game so genuine. It makes the game so very genuine. It makes the game very storytelling based, all that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go back real quick, see what my man Steven has to say.
I feel like I own this team. I know these players. Their fate, their contract fate is in my hand. My team's fate is in their hand. And at a certain point, and here's the thing, this is what separates us from video games. At a certain point, after you've submitted your playbook, you've selected your abilities, you've selected your players, you've selected their likeness, their names, their numbers, the uniform they're wearing. You make all these personalized choices, and you submit them, and here's the key, you let it go. You don't touch a thing. You don't touch a controller. There's no phone calls with your coaches. You're not calling the plays. The computer calls the plays. The computer plays the game. And random stuff happens all the time. You have no control over it. It is the true owner experience. Can't go down there and tell the player what to do.
I believe right now we have something special, unique.
Yep, they used to also have, I think their website is updated. Let me look. I I'm gonna actually help them out for this. So they actually, let me just go ahead and just continue the screen. I'm just gonna continue the screen. So their website, this site actually has been updated. I won't share too much, because it's their site. But their site, you can get merch from it. You can read articles from it. Sadly, you can't watch live games like they used to. Because nowadays you can watch it on their YouTube channel. This is their YouTube channel. This is where you can watch it. If you're interested in watching the documentary yourself without my reaction, you're welcome to watch it. You can welcome to stop here and watch it, on your own. It is quite the storytelling, and it's really nice to see me reacting to this, because it comes from me who has been playing this league for about 5 to 6 seasons now. Actually, not 5 to 6 seasons. Actually, it's from season 13. Yeah, it's actually for almost 12 seasons. Isn't that crazy, ladies and gentlemen? I've been doing this for almost 12 seasons. It's crazy. And that's like a total of 5.5 years. Like, yeah, about almost 6 years.
And I think
the
more people that tune into it are gonna find out that, man, this is like I just saw a post earlier. Forget, what else is going on TV. I got an SFL game coming on.
Back to pass.
Yeah, I had that feeling too.
Down the middle into triple coverage. That pass is complete. What a bullet from Matt Wilson.
Rest in peace, Matt Wilson.
How that pass is complete. In between Fierro, Spurgeon, and Gatlin All-Stars. Best pass of the night for Wilson.
Matt Wilson? Have you heard about this? Yeah, the quarterback who I had no idea that he always dreamed of playing football. And never, because of an ailment physically, could never play, and now he gets to see himself. Out there, Santa Fe, kudos to Santa Fe for taking a chance on a kid they didn't even know, putting him in there in a star position, and this kid's on cloud 9.
Conditional wise, I have a tumor near my brainstem, so it's a degenerative condition. As time has gone on, I've lost the ability to walk. I've lost the ability to use my hands. I'm pretty much a quadriplegic.
Yeah, and what makes this lead super fun, if you really want to know why, is, as I said before, it creates a lot of genuinity when it comes to the commentating desk, to us as the players, telling the story for them. And it's quite genuine when it comes to a lot of the other stuff. And as I stated before, yeah, it's quite the storytelling. And I will never regret the fact. Of competing. I have no regrets to compete when it came to competing this league. None. I know some days I feel that way when it comes to competing, but I will never regret the fact that I had the opportunity, and forever have the opportunity, to just be part of the league. I have never regretted it ever since then. Even though it was way later, I will never regret that. So,
at this point, my brain still works great. I have multiple college degrees, but I don't have access to the game like I would love to be able to just catch. Can't do it. This is a good outlet for me to get some of that competitiveness out, even though I'm not actually physically doing it. I can watch my virtual self hopefully do well.
That's been the one
yes.
in the armor for.
And that's what this lead is. It's basically you're putting your virtual self in this game and you're having a good time, having fun with that. That's what makes this lead so much fun.
Santa Fe throwing that pass in the flat. It hasn't worked out. Deep shot. Wilson wide open. Oh,
rest in peace, Matt Wilson.
Quick touchdown. Comeback!
I love you.
That's the end of the ball game. Santa Fe wins, and the post-game report is next.
Not gonna lie, before I get back to what you said, there's one thing I will say that I wish that I don't know if I ever competed with him. I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, there's one thing I don't know if I ever did. I'll have to see if any of my SFL friends correct me if I'm wrong. I'll always be grateful for the fact that I think I did compete against as a defensive player. I competed against Matt Wilson, but he was a great player to play with, and rest in peace, my man. Definitely I don't know if I did, but if I did, it was probably the best. It gave me a lot of chills on my spine when I was told that by my coach at the time, and I'm always grateful to just straight up be there in the moment. You know, I don't know if anyone here in the chat ever has that experience where you get yourself a chill down your spine because, holy cow, this guy's a very well-known name, and I get to compete against him and just be in the moment. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
Post-game report is next.
That last touchdown throw, and then I was just, I don't know, I was on another planet pretty much. After the game was over, I was hyperventilating, had to take a breath and kind of just calm myself down because I felt like I'd won the Super Bowl or something. It was insane. And then I downloaded the game, and then I downloaded the playmakers later. And all that on my hard drive, so I could relive it because it was really, it was just, it was something else. Let me tell you.
3rd down and 10. If you don't get a first down but complete a pass, you can't spike it. Coleman to throw.
Oh, sorry.
Coleman's pass over the middle is incomplete. It's 4th down again. Oh my goodness, right in his hands. That would have sealed the deal. Wow. If Louisville loses this game, they're going to look back on that play and think about that for a long time. 4th and 10 at the 23. They need the 13 and a half for a first down. 4 receivers, 3 to the right for Coleman. Back to pass, Coleman. Coleman will fire. Caught at the 6. They have to hurry. Down to 12 seconds. They have to get the spike. Down to 5. They spike it with 5 seconds. Unbelievable, Courtney Coleman. It's 2nd and goal, and this is the ball game. One last play from 6 yards away for Houston. No timeouts. Winner goes to the title game. He will throw. And Coleman avoids a sack. Throws it.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a catch.
He avoided a sack.
Almost got sacked too.
Do these fools even realize the work that Cam puts into this? He's manipulating, he's doing stuff, man, as we're broadcasting, and it's just like off the chain. I'm just sitting there, sometimes I'll stop, and I'm just fascinated, just watching him. As he's broadcasting, I'm like, wow. And I had to catch myself because I need to talk. I need to talk, after he gets through. But I'm just sitting there. He's putting in numbers and he's talking. He's looking at another monitor, reading stats and everything.
He knows the score. He knows what team they played. He remembers who the owner was. He remembered that he was traded last year. Now he plays for this team. That it's just, it's a savant when it comes to, Cameron Irvine is a savant when it comes to the SFL, and
yep. And what I like about this game in general is every halftime we get to do this kind of stuff. We like the commentators in the lead will have every halftime they will break down passing yards, rushing yards, and then they will talk about their thoughts and talk about the story that way. And they definitely share a story this way. Just to continue, just to continue that way. and to basically give a story, in a way that actually is great. So, that's another reason why I like this lead. It's because they're trying to tell you a story at halftime as well. It's not just, oh, we're just gonna talk about something else at halftime that is so unrelated to the game. No, they literally are true commentators on the desk, and they definitely tell you a story, in a way that is very genuine.
Place that. All right, so Santa Fe, we got Juan Bosco, Nick Quick are the receivers. Isaac Montoya.
Can't believe we're almost done with this
Daniel Garcia
documentary. This is crazy.
And then they got.
It's crazy how. Actually, I want to see what year this was made. What year this commentary was made? 8 years ago. That's crazy. And by the way, the documentary filmmaker Frank Goodman Jr. Did this documentary. So, the only thing I will say to you is I'm gonna give a shout out to Frank Goodman Jr. as well for making this documentary. Thank you. That you definitely deserve some love in this. You definitely deserve some love, in this community, and especially in my page YouTuber community. You're definitely loved here. So just so you know.
And that's 5.
You're definitely loved here.
And they got Tial Alvarado at linebacker, the Montero twins, Christoph and Carlo at safety, and they've got Joe Lynn and Frank Flores at corner.
Yes, the SFL is, I think, taking things to the next level. And when I say that, we don't know what the next level is, so therefore you have to be the next level. You know what I'm saying?
I've played fantasy football for over a decade, and it doesn't compare to the ownership, the fact that these are players that you created or that you've drafted, that you've spent time and you've developed, and taking those players out of the field on a playbook that you designed and doing against a person who's done the same. It's a new frontier.
This is definitely a lead that if you like a progression and telling a story, this is definitely your kind of game. This kind of community. This is definitely your type. This is definitely the type of community where if you really love football in a genuine storytelling, honest way, and if you don't believe me, I want to show you a game, and it's going to be this one, just to show you how genuine is this. What is this? Okay. I want to make sure like what was happening there, because I don't know what's going on, but this is like, and what's crazy to me is that this video has like 6.7k views. So, if you really want to watch this video, it's called SFL Documentary New Frontier, where football dreams come to life. Go check it out. A lot of these guys definitely, like from Eddie Gage, a lot of these guys are also in this documentary. I know some of them. I not know all of them. But players wise, I know not every single one, but most of the people I met. They're very nice, very genuine, very respectful towards me, and I definitely respect them back. And these guys are very genuine, like people. Very nice. So that's one reason why I wanted to react to this video. And then I'll show you also an Arizona Scorpions game. What happened last week. So actually, because I need to actually watch it. And I definitely need to show you the second team I played with. And the players I played with along the way. It's really humbling to see I can do this kind of content in a way on Twitch. Very humbling, I will say that way, because SFL definitely deserves some love. SFL definitely deserves some respect, and SFL definitely deserves their attention, and it definitely deserves my respect. Definitely deserves that respect that I guess they kind of lost on. So anyway, it is what it is.
It's an entirely new league. This doesn't end in January.
You know what's crazy is? Let me go back. Where is it?
In doing against a person who's done the same. It's a new frontier. This is an entirely new league. This doesn't end in January. The book that you designed.
Let's go back real quick. Hold on, man. I want to show you all something.
Done the same. a new.
There's one thing I'm starting to notice now.
It's an entirely new league. This.
Okay. This logo is not the logo that I know of, actually. It's not brown and yellow. It's red, yellow, and blue. Say red, yellow, and blue. Not yellow and brown. Interesting. I guess that's their original logo if you really want to bring it up.
Doesn't end in
Bring up the logos and how evolved they are. That's interesting. DC Dragons. Here's the irony about this team. This team originally was one of the originating teams. Before I think they moved to a different city. And then this team went back in like the later seasons when I was playing. But this color scheme was very different than the brandly new DC Dragons. The DC Dragons that I know today is blue and I think blue and gray or blue and yellow like this. Like a different kind of yellow. It's a very different logo if you ever want to look up the team logos. It's so different. And I remember every team, their history and etc. So
it's your players, this is your team, it's your identity, and it's your heart and soul on the field.
And that's what you just said, I agree. Yep, it's your player, your identity, your soul, yourself. It is definitely what makes this league so genuinely great. I think it's definitely it's kind of like WWE where they definitely share a story. It's not scripted. It's there for the game, and there's there's not even like oh yeah, you need to do this in order to join the league. No, there's no strings attached. They are definitely a league where I am so humbled to find, and I'm humbled and actually I'm so inspired to do. Actually, this is actually the first hobby I was inspired to do my PNG tuber based off of. And you know what? I hope one day Cameron Irvine and all of them allow me to be on their commentary desk as a PNG tuber. It'll always be my dream to have me as an anime character to be in their lead and have a commentating desk.
Every weekend in a professional quality type program.
Fun fact to share, Minnesota Reapers, the Minnesota Maulers, was the original Minnesota franchise before they turned into, I think it's called the Minnesota, let me look at the Minnesota team, hold on, let me check, because I know that is a different team. Let me look up real quick, hold on a minute.
The field is ready, it's a beautiful...
Hold on a minute, sorry about that. Let's see what the different team's called, yeah, so, remember I said earlier, that is the DC Dragons logo, by the way. Let's see, where is the Minnesota team? Where are they? Yeah, here we go. Minnesota, yep, right here. Yep, this is Minnesota's logo. They are a very different team. I think they were, yeah, they were a different team than they once were. If you really want to share how crazy this is. And by the way, this is also, like, if you want to talk about Oklahoma City, this is their new logo now. They are no longer they do the Cowboys logo either. So if you really want to know, like, the lead in general, that's how much progress we have made through this lead. How far we come as a bunch of leads in general in the community.
Podcast. I mean, you can't replace this. It's not available anywhere else. It has this factor to it.
You know what's crazy to me is, I remember when Tallahassee Pride was a thing, and seasons 14 and season 15, I think Tallahassee Pride didn't last long. I think after season 14 or season 15. I can't remember which one. But I remember they didn't last long. Actually, they used to be called Tallahassee, and then they moved to New Orleans, I think. I forgot what it was, but some of these teams, they're sad that they don't come back. I think some of these teams definitely deserve to come back. Imagine Louisville. Instead of the Wolf Pack, it's called the Louisville Lions. That would be great.
You're coaching a team, you're invested.
Imagine that, like something like Louisville.
Memorial Stadium in San Francisco. It is the SFL championship game between the DC Dragons and the Santa Fe Gorillas. Out of the eye, Zuli.
Yep.
Hand it off to Snowden. Around the left side, bounces it out. And Richard Snowden in the open field. Montero misses.
Oh, wow.
And Brewer's going to try to run him down, and Montero...
That's crazy.
Finally runs him out of bounds at the Santa Fe 35-yard line. And there's Richard Snowden again.
Only thing I got to say is Mama.
And I think I remember Richard Snowden. I remember him, I think. I remember watching some of his plays.
Wide open
Wow, wide open right there. Wow.
Santa Fe.
White rice, baby, white rice.
DC and Santa Fe trading punches, 2 expansion teams going at it. It was just something. It was just amazing to witness. I mean, these 2 guys that had
Wow, 10-3.
You know, had made it all the way to the end. And that's something, you know, now you start to get into the realm of what the NFL can't offer. The NFL can't offer a brand new team coming in and, you know, winning a championship.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's even great about it is that I remembered, and he's so right about this. That's what even makes the lead so genuine. Is what makes the lead so amazing. Is that, and I'm not mad. I'm happy. I'm so much in passion when I talk about this. It's amazing. It's crazy. Like I'm glad he brought this up. And if you want proof of why I say that, look up every team in the SFL and all the players from season 1 to season 25, 24, and you'll look how far some of these teams exist. Like, if you don't believe me, look up their site, look up their history, look up the championship history, you even look at the record books. Look up everything. And I should definitely one day do another stream of this kind of stuff where I'll talk about this. It's so amazing how far the SFL has come from season 1. I think that was like almost 2 decades ago. Like probably another 6 years, probably another 6 years IRL. We'll talk about how far we came in 2 decades. It's crazy how far we as players and by past and present players come to exist. It's crazy, man.
For being able to be successful. You know, Jaguars, Panthers, they're still waiting. Because our league is built on strategy, built on intelligence, built on, if you're smart enough, if you're good enough,
and even if you want a good example why I agree with what he just said too, what makes this league so genuine, it's not just about strategy, it's not just about the trenches, it's not just about the victories, it's also like, and it's just from my experience as a player, I've seen franchises come and go. And I actually was one of those, when I played in the season 13 with the Oklahoma City Renegades, it was their very last season. I got told that that last game, probably the last 3 weeks, it was our last 3 games from the franchise. And then Arizona was actually the one that actually replaced it. Oklahoma City to the Renegade, from the Renegades to the Arizona Scorpions. And still to this very day, if you're so curious how great Eddie Gage is, his franchise came from season 14 to season 24. Almost 10 seasons as a franchise. And he still exists. And if you want to know my lore as a player, I have played Oklahoma City for 1 season. Probably like a half a season if you want to be realistic. So I still count as a season nonetheless. I went from Oklahoma City to Arizona. We went there, and then we went from Arizona to Denver. And you know what's crazy is I went from season 14 to season 22. That's how crazy it sounds. But I am that passionate as a sports commentator these days. It's just, the lead. You got to adapt. You got to make changes as a player, but also you can have to change and adapt as a coach and an owner.
Dedicated enough, you can win. You just come right in, just like everybody else. You have the same cap. You get the same amount of players. You get there's no, you're an expansion team, so you got to, start with less and then grow.
Yeah.
We want everyone to have this same experience.
Exactly. That's what also makes this league so genuine. Is that there's no strings attached as a team. There's no rules you have to follow as a new franchise. You can just say, hey, if you're from the original team, you can stay or you can go to a different team. It's your choice. I'm not gonna bite. That's how great this league is. It keeps their players, but also they don't make. But also at the same time, they don't really. The league doesn't make a lot of these other teams have such a hard time making, basically they do have the challenge factor to a lot of the teams I have played with. Like Arizona, for example, if you really ask me the history of us as a team, we only won 3 to 4, only won a few division titles. And it's because our division at the time was very competitive. Yes, the league that we were in was so competitive. When I was there, but it was fun that way. It was worth the time, it was worth the effort, and it was definitely worth the hard work and dedication towards it.
That everyone already has. So watching these two teams play, just unbelievable, the back and forth.
Back to pass Zuli. Zuli will flip it deep down the field. Oh, Corky right over the defense.
What a touchdown.
Touchdown. And back-to-back scores deep down the field for opposing quarterbacks. Zuli is an extra point away from tying this one up. 7 in the box for DC, showing a blitz. They come with it partially, and Nick T. Quick says, I've got deuce touchdowns. It's 16 to 10. Santa Fe back on top. Second down and goal. They're going to punch it to Snowden, and Snowden is going to take a little stroll.
Man, what a game this was, man.
Touchdown for DC. They have their first lead of the ball game. Second and 10, 4.5 to go in the third. Handoff Montoya gets around the left side.
Wow, what a handoff touchdown.
Took a smack from Oakenshield.
And we're already just like 4:22 left in the third quarter. That's incredible.
Just like I said about Montoya, he goes quiet on you and then bam.
Santa Fe from 41 to go up by 5. It's been a back and forth contest all game, and we haven't had a big lead by either team at all. That field goal from 40.
Wow.
30, 25, and here comes
98 seconds left. Wow.
With a chance at a title.
So, Santa Fe trying to run the clock out. They're up 30-25. But that's not their MO. That's not the way they play football.
DC on 3 timeouts. That stops the clock with that incomplete pass. Saves DC some time. And off Montoya. He is
wow.
to the backfield. Triple
wow.
Back at the 37. A 4-yard loss.
DC locked him down. Clock stops. Saves their timeouts. Things get crazy.
DC 25, Santa Fe 31, 38 to go in the ball game. The Dragons on the kickoff.
Whoa, wow. Ooh, what a hit. So now there are 93 seconds left.
So Santa Fe punts it away. DC's got the ball. At this point, DC's owner is like, I'm done. It's over. Because he was. And if he tries to admit that he wasn't, he was. He was done with it. They were going to have to drive the length of the field and score a touchdown in the championship game to be the first team to ever win a championship game as the underdog.
Second and 1 to the 40, 1:15 to go.
Let me look at this.
Back to pass. Zuli will flip it outside. That's Revit. He was out of bounds. Let him.
Oh.
The owner swears to it, and I can attest to it because I put in the playbooks every week. There's no shovel pass in DC's playbook. None. But on third down, Zach Zuli, who, by the way, is a real-life quarterback and plays for the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks.
Third down and 1.
Oh, wow.
Back to pass Zuli.
Oh, whoa. Whoa, wait. Wait, what did I just saw? Hey, yo, you just pull off a shovel pass right for our faces live on 4K. That's great. That's amazing.
He just flips it. Just to the running. Here you go. And
that's amazing.
We just couldn't believe it. We just, and
talk about bold. Like I said, to the QB who did that, I call that bold, and I respect it.
Damon's like out of his chair, it's just
that's incredible.
I can't believe he shovel passed it. Good Lord.
Cameron's gonna have more seconds.
That's great.
Okay, we got to calm down. We got to compose ourselves because this team's on the move. They're going no huddle, and we got to still call this game.
Out of the gun. Back
28 seconds.
Pressure. Zuli.
What a catch.
Over the top of the defense. Down to 23 seconds to go.
Oh, man.
They are out of timeouts. 18 seconds left. They got to quickly spike the football, and Zuli does. 15 on the clock.
I'm telling you, the most perfect pass I've ever seen. Right over the Santa Fe dude's hand. Just perfect. Touch pass. Boom. Catch. First down. There we go. All, crazy again.
Out of the gun. Corky to the bottom of the screen.
Take your shot.
Down to 15 seconds left. Zuli back to pass. He's going to.
Oh, what a. Oh my goodness. Touchdown. Wow. Wow. What a touchdown. With 7 seconds. Greg Corky, okay.
We just lost it. We just screaming and hollering, and Greg is yelling MVPs, and Demond is just, Mike is just dumbfounded. He's not saying anything, so he's just totally taking the opposite approach. Demond's over on the other room, flailing his arms around, can't believe what he just said.
The DC Dragons have won the championship.
Wow.
What a miracle on Zach Sully's throw to Greg Corky.
Wow.
The fellas, give me a breath while we look at the post-game show.
They give you a breath here. One reason why I love Cameron Irvine. One reason why I love Cameron Irvine so much.
Wow. That would end up making you lose your voice here in the fourth, and I got close.
At that moment, I was like, this is incredible. This is what we're going to have for a long time. There's no way we can ever let this just be like, okay, we're done here. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful football.
It sure was.
We called
Definitely
the post
was.
game. We tried to calm down. We got off the air. We all looked at each other and just high-fiving and just all this stuff because we knew that we saw something and we were a part of something that no one had ever pulled off, no one had ever done before. It was special. It was special to sort of give that guy something that he had.
Also, I will say for the stadiums, I will say this. What's crazy is that the stadiums look so good.
Could never.
The stadiums look so darn good.
Anywhere. You know, he was a champion. He was a football champion, truly. He game planned, he strategized, he did it. The computer executed what he was trying to do, but it was all him. And he won that championship. I'll never forget it. It was a phenomenal game. After that game was over, I mean, we were fist bumping and bro hugging and like like buds, like bros.
Yeah, we're almost done with this commentary.
This bond now between us and everyone there that was watching that game because of just how unlikely it was that a video game between two computers could generate such a beautiful work of football art, because that's what it was.
There you go. There's the documentary. Thank you for, I'm going to give a shout out. If I can find a way I can give a shout out. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out. Shout out to SFL. I need to find a way I can give a shout out on that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Go ahead and do it this way. What was it? Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna give a shout out to I'm gonna give some love. Go ahead and give my go ahead and give VFN Network some love. They're the reason why go ahead and give oh really? That's not, wait, what? Okay, weird. But I'm gonna go ahead and give a lovely shout out to them. Nonetheless. But that's it for that. I will react to the other games sooner or later. Also, before I go to our plan our next game, this is what they're doing now. It's called the UFL, and it's like a simulation football league kind of thing, kind of like this. It's kind of like the simulation football league, and they are doing a if we can get the scene right, there we go. But that's what they've been doing for quite some time, and like I said, I want to give a lovely shout out